Hi everyone. Hello panelists. Good to see you again. My name is Adrien. I'm principal architect for the Web3 team at Google. I've been working around 8-9 years in crypto now. I worked for Consensus, as maybe you know, and I'm going to have the honor to present this beautiful panel around AI and crypto and builder tools, right? So with us, maybe everyone can present, what you're doing, what your company is doing, and what you're focusing on solving, maybe.
Sure. Thank you, Adrien. Oh, I think my microphone works very well. Thank you, Adrien, and thanks for everybody to attend this event, and thanks for the brilliant panelists who sit with me right here. So I'm Ivy. I'm heading up the marketing efforts in Chainbase. So we're a omni-chain data network that aims to revolutionize decentralized AI. So what we do is we grab every little bit of on-chain data, that's like raw data, transaction data, cross-chain data, you name it. And then we wash them, we process them into usable APIs for everyone in needs of any sort of data requirements. So that's, in a nutshell, that's what we do. And as of now, we're decentralizing our network. We're launching the mainnet at the end of this year. So everybody, please keep a close tab and follow us on Twitter. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ming Wu, and I'm the co-founder and CTO of ZeroG. And ZeroG is the first decentralized AI operating system. So we are targeting to provide a infrastructure and platform that can easily adapt your Web2 AI applications into the decentralized environment, so that we provide the OS abstraction that can manage all the decentralized hardwares like storage and the computation for all the AI applications, so that we can provide the data verifiability and the computation verifiability, and also coordinate all these decentralized applications to collaborate in a well-organized way. And again, so we think that the decentralized environment has a lot of performance bottlenecks. So our system actually provides several components. So one is a highly scalable consensus protocol, and another is a decentralized storage network associated with a DA network. And also we have, on top of that, built a computing network. And we have a service market layer to embed all this incentive mechanism and the fee marketplace for all these kind of resources for users to use them. And we really want to make this system to solve this scalability problem, so that we have designed a bunch of innovative sharding mechanisms on all these kind of components to make them have the horizontal scalability without any limitation. Yeah, so that's how ZeroG.
Thank you. Joshua?
I'm Josh. I'm from Open. Actually, Open is only 1 day years old. We announced the merge yesterday. So it's a merger from RCS3, RCS Hub, Open Information Initiatives, and a lot of different couple technical products. So basically what Open does is that we have a network that primarily handles information abstraction and also compute abstraction. Like blockchains, information is scattered around in different formats across Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, and we try to make sure that we can structure this data and information, so for anyone who's in need for search engines, for AI model trainings and stuff. And at the same time, compute is as scattered. You can see that compute could be decentralized, centralized, verifiable, closed, and we try to bridge these kind of compute resources into the same kind of standard and try to make sure that we could have high performance compute in a verifiable way. If we talk about specifically for AI, we act as kind of like the AI wormhole, where we wormhole the data or the information, and at the same time we wormhole the compute together. Yeah, that's basically what we do.
Okay, thank you.
Andrea, thank you so much for inviting me, and also thank you for Cynthia and all the audience. I'm Chi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of KITE AI and Zeta Block Labs. So what KITE AI is doing is we're building the composable decentralized foundation that democratizes AI by enabling scalable access to data and models. So we believe that AI data shortage or accessibility issue is going to be the next biggest bottleneck for AI after GPU. So that's why, as the base layer of AI, we're really trying to create a foundational framework that can foster a transparent and accessible ecosystems of those key AI assets, which are the data and models. And our architecture with purpose-built identity and attribution mechanisms that can really enable participants from enterprise to individuals to contribute, build, and monetize data and models collaboratively. And we're launching our testnets by the end of the year. So feel free to follow us on Twitter and join our Discord. And by the way, we're also 3 years old because we just launched our KITE AI network this Tuesday. Yeah.
All right, congrats then to both of you. When we talk about the intersection of AI and Web3, right? And in my speech a bit earlier, I said that it's good to look at it in 2 ways. You have first how AI can help Web3, and also how Web3 can help AI, right? So I'm going to divide some questions first for how AI can help Web3, right? And so the first question, right, and I think everyone kind of thinks about it, is can AI bring more adoption to Web3? And if yes, how, right? So another way to put the question is, what is the killer use case, right, for AI in the Web3 space, and how does it bring adoption, or how does it bring improvement of user experience? And I don't know, maybe if you want to start.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll just share my 2 cents. So I personally strongly believe that AI and Web3 has strong intersection with each other. Well, speaking of the killer apps, I know everybody's talking about AI agents, and of course we've seen a lot of decentralized AI agents on the markets right now. Well, there's one possible big change in Web3 applications I would like to mention is actually gaming. Right, so I personally believe the game maker, the whole designer of the game mechanics behind everything, if it's neutral, completely neutral and completely unbiased for everyone, that would be, +1 on the current, especially blockchain plus gamings. So I do believe, there will be very interesting AI plus crypto gaming in the market very soon, although personally I haven't seen any. And, of course, I believe it's like before the mobile internet emerged, we can't even imagine some of our daily used apps that could happen, and I believe there will be some killer apps on the market in probably a couple of months or in a year or 2 that beyond our imagination, and I personally would like to see that it coming.
Okay, thank you. So.
Yeah, so I certainly believe that the AI can help a lot for the Web3, maybe majorly from 3 aspects. So one is the user experience. So that we know that in the blockchain world, the user experience is very, very different than a user in the Web2 world. Right? So for example, the user need to manage their private keys, which is random numbers that are hard to remember, and you need to keep that in some safe place, and kind of a tedious stuff. And a lot of users actually don't understand what signature means, and many smart contracts many transactions they need to send, and they need to send, oh, what's that, right? So I think with AI technology, actually, it can make this user experience more user-friendly, that can manage this tricky cryptographic tricky stuff for users, so that users don't need to worry about that. And I do believe that on the other side, I think in this case, because the AI is managing the user assets for the users, so the truly decentralized AI is really needed because it needs to be very, very safe, so that without any centralized manipulation of that kind of thing. And the second aspect is the security stuff. So because the blockchain technology is kind of a very tricky distributed system. So, for example, the consensus system is kind of you need to carefully design, carefully engineering that, and then AI actually gives you a capability and tools to explore some potential attacking scenarios that can break your system, so that can help you more easily find your system bug, so that can fix that very quickly. I think that's makes this testing process is more effective and more secure. And the third aspect is the development. So we can use AI to help the smart contract developers to quickly generate a lot of smart contract code to help you significantly accelerate your development of your DApps and makes developers focus on the key part of the logic. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think that's very clear. Josh, maybe if you have...
I'll just add one thing because we're short time. Yeah. So I think these AI agents right now are, in a way, the first time in or computer science or internet history where a software, or we call it like a human-made artifact, they were never given the right to do things on chain. They have the ability to actually start an account and do activities and activate, just act upon their own thinkings in a way, if they have any thinking. And we have been observing some of these coming up. I think more likely that there will be more interesting synergies when you see AI agents doing a lot of different stuff on a place where they couldn't, possibly do before. And that's going to bring in more human interactions as well. I think there might be more synergies and more combinations there, especially when after AI agents are more secure and more mature. If you look at how agents are built today, it's still very, very primary, right? It's very, very naive at the moment. But I think with a bit more time, it could be more decentralized. It could be more safe, smarter, and hypothetically to bring more innovations and creations to the Web3 ecosystem. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think it answers some of the next part as well. But do you have anything to add on this?
Yes. First of all, I actually really like what Ming mentioned about like user experience and the development piece. Just add on top of for that a bit. We actually work with a lot of customers that we see some of the user experience piece that they are using AI to help Web3 right now. Because again, Web3 now with all those like jargons and specific like wallet and swap, DAX, SAX type of specific Web3 tools, it's very hard for Web2 users to adopt. So then, in that case, people build agents for example, helping you to automatically swap different tokens in different SACs without writing any code or doing anything. You just use language to tell them. Or the AI models where agent will help you to find the best yield in the landing pools. So that's all the things we see. And for the development piece, that is where I want to add a little bit, where we see even in Web2, because AI coder in Web2 is actually become real. You probably heard like a Devcon is the first AI coders that's been built out. And recently, actually in a small event that Sam Altman was giving some of the insights about what OpenAI is going to go next. Because I was in that event, I was hearing like AI coding is actually one of the big ones that they're going to do, which means, and they believe there's going to be trillions of market to really help increase the development. And I feel like that's exactly the same will be reflected in the Web3 space. And the last one probably is money related. Because again, if we think about crypto, at this moment, the real product market fit we found probably is stablecoin and a little bit DeFi. So in the end of the day, we see a lot of the models and the use cases built are all about money. Either help you to make more money or help you to protect your money. So help your money is already, we talked about find the best yields or help you to do trading. But protect your money is really about how to do this better real time, like a risk detection, management of the on-chain transactions and all those stuff. So that's some of the concrete use cases we observed.
All right, thank you. And just wondering if you guys have concrete examples of projects that maybe you've developed, or maybe some examples of projects that are out there, or tools that are using AI and helping on these different fronts, right? So we talked about AI agents, we talked about security, user experience, and so on, right? I think personally, like Forta, for example, Tenderly as well, MetaMask, Snaps are doing this kind of stuff that are quite cool now, using AI to improve user experience and security in the same. Like, do you have some, maybe name dropping a few projects that you like very quickly, like that are using AI today?
Actually, Forta is our customer, and exactly what the use cases you're talking about, Forta and OpenZeppelin. They used to be like more predictive ML using XGBoost type of models, but now everybody's adapting, transformer and, for example, like the GPT for some of the use cases, like the on-chain transaction fraud detection. That has been quite an improvement.
Yeah. Any other use case maybe you guys can think about?
We have a framework called Open Agent. And there's a project called, I think it's called Fungi. It's built upon the framework. They call it the DeFi agent on-chain. Basically, it's not actually an automatic or like autonomous agent, right? It doesn't really do things without commands, but still it handles a lot of commands if you want to say, okay, observe the price of something and then try to do purchase and sales. You can tell them to moving particular assets from one pool to another. And I think at the moment, this is one of the ways where these agents could be helping people without being individually or like independently doing things themselves.
Interesting.
So we have an ecosystem partner project called Octane, who is doing the using AI to maintain the security of the on-chain activity, like a smart contract audit, and also explore the potential bugs in the distributed system, the consensus protocol stuff. Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, actually, as a data provider for the industry, so we do have a lot of partners that will work with us. For example, Go Plus, right? So Go Plus work with Chainbase and Plus their own in-house AI models to help further improve their protection for all of their retail users. And by integration, of the high quality data that we provided, and of course the smart algorithm that developed by Go Plus themselves, I believe their whole efficiency increased like more than 6 times. And just very recently, just before this event, our data scheme manuscript just integrated with Google Gemini. So Gemini hugely help us, to help developers to design and contribute their own data schema into the whole Chainbase data network. So I think that's the 2 cases that I would
Awesome. Thank you. So a lot of alpha, I guess. Okay, so if we now think about how Web3 can help AI now, right? And so I think that's maybe a bit more futuristic, but I think the first good question is, what's wrong with the current centralized AI, right, as we know it today, in your words, and why are we trying to decentralize it, and what does it mean exactly, right? Maybe...
I'll do.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think technology, or like internet technology in general, intelligence technology have been penetrating human lives in an unprecedented way, right? You have autonomous cars, whatever, you might have robots taking care of your family, and trust is always a big deal, right? You want to make sure that whatever is taking care of your children actually, does that instead of something malicious. So I think in general, what's going to happen is that if we want technology to keep improving, and especially penetrating our daily lives, then we have to make sure they are safe. And openness, decentralization, trustworthiness have to be that way.
I think another factor for the centralized AI is that it is not a fair reward distribution system, because the AI model is very powerful and valuable, right? But the creation of the AI model is actually accrued a lot of contributions from the many different partitions around the world. So how we can distribute all these the AI model rewards fairly to distribute to all these contributors, that's a problem. And currently, I think centralized AI does not do that things well. Yeah.
Just adding my 2 cents to Ming's previous note, I personally also strongly agree that currently the Web2 giants who holds up to the large language models or data providers, their contribution is not fairly rewarded. Well, I mean, a lot of, as we know, a lot of the data indexers around the globe, especially in the probably like Africa or other or Southeast Asia countries, they are paid very, very poorly, so not worth of their time at all. So I think decentralized AI will help to fairly distribute the rewards that they deserve to a great deal. And currently, and another point I would like to mention is currently most of the models and most of the large language models can only be afforded to train and develop by Web2 giants. So smaller players don't have enough resources or don't have enough bandwidth to cover the cost or to participate or to get or to even get into the game. And decentralized AI will greatly improve that.
So I think decentralized AI, the biggest value to the mainstream AI will be democratization. So what does that mean is I have been building in AI for over 10 years. Because I did my PhD from UC Berkeley, focused on machine learning first. At that time, after school, the first AI startup that I built was a automated machine learning company. And that time, we already call it democratized AI. But at that time, the democratization we're talking about is more about technology to make sure everybody, even like we call citizen data scientists, can build machine learning models without coding. However, right now, I think one of the biggest problems, just like Avi pointed out, is not everybody, actually only a handful of companies can really train models because they have the access and the resources to GPU and data. However, most of the people don't. Most of the researchers, even in universities and institutions, don't even have the enough data access and compute resources. So in the end of the day, decentralized AI can really help us to, have a trustless and scalable way to bring all those resource providers together and collaborate. And so in that case, we can really encourage smaller teams of researchers and developers to build more innovative models and agents on top of that. And that's the only way for us to keep up the innovation in the long run.
So is it just about decentralizing the models then, and creating new models, or is there anything else, right? And the added value for the end users, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about that, right now, there's not going to be, foundation model is not going to be enough. It's going to be a lot of smaller models or even customized models built on top of them. And why do we need those? It's because we actually want to help end users, not only individual users, but also enterprises to build a better specialized models and agents for the tasks they need. So in the end of the day, by helping developers to build a more specialized or even intelligent models via accessing better data and GPU is in the end of the day helping the end users to have better AI solutions.
And so what's the blocker today to have decentralized AI, to train new models using Web3? What's missing?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? What is missing?
What's missing to have this decentralized AI that we talk about, which is training new models in a decentralized way, and to have these models operate in a decentralized way? We have Hugging Face, Kaggle that have a lot of open source models. Google also has open source models. So what is missing to get to this decentralization of AI, right? That we talk about, which is decentralized inference, decentralized models, and so on.
I'll quickly say that and then leave the time to others. But I think there's two reasons. One is for Hugging Face, everything is open source. Actually, not only the model developers and data providers are not having any incentive in this process. Hugging Face themselves is very struggling with their business model as well. They're not making money. So in the end of the day, I think it's very fundamental broken of the AI economy in this process. And the second reason about when you talk about decentralized inference and decentralized training, I think there's a lot of infrastructure bottleneck here. But again, there's a lot of great improvement and breakthrough. Recently, a lot of researcher groups, even in Web2, are doing. For example, Google DeepMind recently launched the local and Deepago type of framework for decentralized training. So hopefully that will help us to get to the next level.
Any other opinion?
Yeah, so I think the first missing part is the well-designed, perfect verifiability stuff. So basically, although we have a lot of open source models, but we don't know that model, how they are trained from what data they trained. So superficially, they could be look very useful, but we don't know in some corner case, it could be not aligned with human value and intention, right? So we really need to monitor the entire training process with some verifiability stuff. So currently, I think a lot of there are a lot of several verifiability mechanisms proposed, like the hardware-based solution (TEE) and also the ZK stuff, and also the OP kind of stuff. But all these kind of stuff is not that perfect, right? So either they have the performance bottleneck, or they are not very secure. And this is one part. Another piece is that in the decentralized environment, if we think about very, very large scale, like millions of GPUs from the internet, we cannot assume that this bandwidth can be infinite high. So we definitely need to make the training process happen in the bandwidth constrained environment. So how the training process with a large model and a large language model with a huge amount of data that can be trained efficiently in that kind of environment, that's a big question. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, big challenge.
Thank you. And I think last question would be, when are we going to have the first versions of this decentralized AI? And is there any instances that are running now and any projects that are worth looking at today?
I think there are definitely a lot more projects working on the decentralized model or like decentralized process for training a specific model, right? I think a couple years ago, people started to work on more on federal learning, and there are different approaches, local first and whatever, but it's still, I think, if you're talking about a fully functional one or like comparative one against centralized ones for an AI model, I would say about 3 years. 5 years maybe, I don't really know, but yeah.
Okay. Any other guess?
Actually, Chainbase, we just open source a crypto vertical foundation model on Hugging Face, but it's a baby step. So it's basically still an alpha version, and I believe there are several such cases on the market as well. As Ming and Chi just mentioned before, so for AI, basically, right? So it's a bottom-up sort of approach. So we have to have better decentralized computing resource solutions. Decentralized data providers. That's what Chainbase is building, is working for, and then we can talk about decentralized models. So I think we're still in a very early stage. Well, personally, I can't really predict a specific time frame, but I think with everybody, we've seen so much good solutions already. Like IO and Aether for decentralized computing resources. Well, data providers, I believe there are a lot of data providers as well. So I believe that they won't be so far. So I'm probably a little bit more optimistic than Josh. I don't think we need 5 years.
Okay. Any guess? No?
I think it's really depends on what's your definition of decentralized AI. If your definition about decentralized AI is like the community or like a kind of like a contributed resources for you to help you to train an AI model, then it's already happening. And actually, we have customers and partners who already build those models in production environment. But if your thoughts or like definition is about it's literally to be like fully decentralized, and everything is even like a one model can be decentralized and distributed, chopped into many different pieces and run in different nodes, then that's a little bit far away. But I still think that's probably can happen in 3 years, especially if we're talking about small foundation model. Very large foundation model, then that's another beast, but we will see. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I really think, and I think maybe some stuff that could be interesting on how Web3 can help AI is also on the notarization, right? We didn't talk really about that, but we have a lot of content with AI, fake images, fake articles, and so using blockchain to have digital signatures of a news outlet to anchor, notarize an article on the blockchain and have traceability of it and so on. Stuff like that is Web3 for AI as well. And I think that is much, much closer than everything we talked about, right? And of course, I hope it goes in this direction, right? Of course. But yeah, I think there is a lot of other topics maybe around notarization and traceability that I hope will happen. But thanks a lot for all your answers.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Adrien.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.